Unicorn Princess here, and we're going to have a deep talk today. I've been thinking about starting this new series called something like Thoughts Out Loud or Thinking Out Loud, where we can talk about stuff. I know it's incredibly descriptive, but there's a lot of things that go on in life that I want to talk to you about and I want your opinions about and blah blah blah. So maybe we'll call it Thinking Out Loud. And this is maybe episode 1, we'll see how it goes. You might remember, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you'll see that many years ago I did a video on like self-love or self-acceptance or something like that, being yourself. And I kind of wanted to make an update version on that, just after all of the things that have happened in my life in the recent couple of years. I found myself today thinking, right, I should film something because it's Wednesday, we're halfway through the week and I haven't filmed anything yet. And last night I was like, oh cool, I've got loads of ideas, I'll do it tomorrow. And then this morning, I was like, because I have a day off today, I was like working through all of my like legal stuff and company stuff and, you know, just adult chore things. And then I was really sore and my head started really hurting, and that kind of brings us to now. I spent like the majority of my morning doing all of this adult legal stuff, and then I got sore. And I found myself feeling really down and really depleted, and just kind of thought I don't really want to do a video, and now I'm doing a video on not wanting to do a video. So like, there's been a lot going on. Like in the past year, I've moved house, or in like the past like year and a half, 2 years, I've moved house 3 times, and I've got 3 or 4 different jobs. It's about to change again. It's a positive thing. Like, I live with Paula and it's awesome and I like my room, and I'm getting a new job that I had a trial shift for that's going to pay me way more money, and they seem like really cool people, so that is also like a positive thing. So there's like a lot of changes happening that are good things, but I don't deal super well with a lot of change. I like things to be quite stable and quite still, because I feel like I'm not in control a lot of the time. So the more repetitive things are, the more of the false kind of in control I get to feel. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that with all of the chaos and things that have been going on in the past couple of years, I felt very out of control of everything, even when positive things happen, and it just makes me feel very stressed and scared, I guess, not feeling like I'm in control of everything. And I know that like control is an illusion and we're not in control of anything, and that's the only thing you should accept, is that you are in control of nothing. But I'm quite partial to the illusion of being in control. So I like my routines and my repetitive things and all of that jazz, and I just haven't got to have that for like 2 or 3 years probably now, and it weighs on me, you know? And of course, if some of you have been watching me for a while, you'll see that I've had a lot of health stuff. It's been going on for a long time, like many years, but it's kind of escalated, and I've been going through the hoops and the processes of doctors and hospitals, and we're ever inching towards finding out what's wrong with me. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, is this what's wrong with me thing. I don't want to find out what's wrong with me because I want something to be wrong with me. My reality is that things are difficult, that I am in pain, that I am ill, that I am feverish often, that I sleep terribly, that my moods and my feelings are all over the place. But they have been for a long time. None of this is new to me. It's just that I've started to look at it like, why should I have to live like that, you know? And I've worked really hard on things like self-love and self-acceptance and self-respect. And I haven't always been good at those things, and I'm still not very good at them a lot of the time. And it occurred to me recently that I have a habit of accepting when things are crappy, because it's like, I don't know, it's like a defense mechanism. Like, this thing is bad, but it's not going to change and there's nothing I can do about it, so I guess I'll just leave it alone and accept it. And it's never really occurred to me that I didn't have to be that way. So I've had it with people and jobs and health stuff now, where I'm just like, no, actually I'm not okay with it being like this. I want it to change, so I'm gonna make something happen. But I think that realising how accepting I've been of things not being great has made me feel really down. It's kind of like the illusion of control I had about looking after myself has popped, and I realised that it's not there. I've not really been looking after myself because I've just accepted when things are bad and said, okay, cool, that's how it is, and that's not right. So this is kind of like a two-part thing. On one hand, I want to acknowledge that if you are unwell or in pain or unhappy, that's not the state that most people are in, and it's, you know, it's a negative. If you don't want to be in pain or unhappy or whatever, you shouldn't have to be, and you should talk to people and seek help and advice, because why should you have to live with pain? Why should you have to live with being, you know, constantly unhappy? Now, obviously, you're responsible for your own happiness. Nobody can make you happy. Nobody can make you better. You have to take control of it for yourself, which is why I'm annoyed at myself that I didn't realise it earlier, because now I'm like, I could have done something about this sooner if it had just occurred to me. But, you know, learning experience. So yeah, on one hand, there's sorting yourself out. Pay attention to all of those things and say, these are not cool. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to have these things. And then you have to take your own responsibility to pursue ways of helping yourself, which is what I'm doing. And that's all you really can do. Make sure that people around you understand what's going on as best you can, and try to look after yourself. Try and help your own issues by actively seeking help for them. And the other hand of it is a kind of self-acceptance. And I think I'm kind of caught in between these right now with health stuff. On one hand, I'm thinking I can fight this, and now I understand. I'm gonna go to doctors and hospitals, I'll get medicine, I'll eat different stuff and that'll fix it, or I'll stop wearing cotton and all my problems will be solved. But on the other hand, there's the possibility that I will find out that my diet is fine and my physical health or whatever is fine, and that whatever is wrong with me is something that I will have forever. That there's almost nothing I can do about, because, well, at the minute we're pursuing a chronic pain route, and a lot of the chronic pain things don't have a cure. So there's a mixture of feeling really out of control with everything that's been happening, and feeling defeated by health stuff that I can't control, and just getting really down about it and feeling very defeated. I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle, but I don't know what I'm fighting. And I don't want to fight. I want to accept, you know. So I'm not on one side or the other, I'm right in the middle, and I don't want to be in the middle. I want to accept that if I have a thing and it's not going to go away, that's okay. It's no biggie. I can just alter my life to work with it and around it. And I have friends that do exactly that, so it's not a big deal. But I'm so used to thinking that I need to be ultimately strong and ultimately capable and ultimately able all of the time, that not being able to be that way makes me feel weak and like I'm failing, which is horrible. So at the minute, I kind of feel like I'm weak and failing all of the time, and I don't know whether to fight that and tell myself, no, you're strong, you can do everything and anything, which is not true. Or to tell myself that I should accept my limits, and that's okay too. I'm trying to think what I would tell my friend. If my friend were going through the same thing, what would I tell them? I would tell them that they are strong and capable, and that everyone is different. Thank you for reminding me that telling other people, you know, me giving advice to other people is how I figure out how to give advice to myself. Find the strength in your weaknesses, because there are always weaknesses in your strengths. Unicorn Princess 2018, quote me. I suppose as well that a kind of self-respect is respecting yourself enough not to put yourself in positions where you'll hurt yourself. So take this for example. I had a trial shift at my new job, and it's quite fast-paced. I'm working at Five Guys now, which is hilarious and interesting. Just on a totally different note, if you check out my Instagram, I've been making a Five Guys conspiracy for like 2 years now, where I draw my pictures, put them on the board, and by the next morning they're gone. And now I get to find out why. So I'll tell you about that in another video. It's quite fast paced, and it's quite demanding, and there's a lot of like, I have to be in work for 7, so I'll be getting up at like 6 in the morning. It's really good pay. My bosses and the people I work with seem really nice and really supportive. And the issue I'm having is this. I want to be able to be honest with them and tell them that I have an ongoing health thing. I have a bunch of hospital appointments coming up, for example, that they know that I have. They haven't asked why, but I will have more appointments after that as well. And I feel like I need to be honest with them to be fair to them, but also to be fair to myself. But I'm afraid that if I tell them that I have something that I don't know what it is, some kind of ongoing chronic pain, shitty health thing, that they will be less willing to want to keep me, I guess. And again, it's like a double-sided thing. On one hand, I don't want to be treated any differently from anyone else, because I like feeling part of the team. I like feeling part of the group, just like everyone else. But on the other hand, I know that there are going to be things that they will want from me that I can't do. So like, for example, it's become very clear to me that I can't work and have only 1 day off and then work more and have another day off. It makes me sick. Like, it actually makes me ill. I'm like exhausted to a point where I become feverish and delirious and sore and everything else. So if I get days off, I need 2 days off together. And when you work in like the food industry or whatever, having 2 days off together is like a privilege. So I don't want it to seem like I'm expecting more from me than what anybody else would get. But I know if I don't say anything, I won't last long in the job. And I can't really tell them anything official yet either. All I can tell them is my experience of this so far. And like on top of that, there's things like my personal life stuff. So you guys, I suppose, are part of my personal life, and my filming and my YouTube and everything are all things that I do in my time when I'm not at work or required to do other stuff like that. And like, there are times like today where a combination of my health being against me, because my head is in incredible pain right now. I'm trying not to show it. My body hurts a lot, but also like affected by my mood, where I feel really down and really kind of depleted, and I don't want to film when I feel like that, because I don't want you guys to see me being all bummed out, because it's not super fun. And I always forget what I'm talking about. Like my memory is really like all over the place when I feel bad. It's worse when I feel bad. I guess again, because of the like failure and guilt thing, I feel like I should be able to overcome this stuff, whether it's emotional or physical. I should be able to fight it, because I'm a strong, independent woman and I don't need help from anyone. I'm not going to help myself if I keep thinking like that and behaving like that. And it doesn't do me any good to be down on myself for acknowledging my difficulties and my challenges and my limitations. Everybody has them, I mean, I'm not mad at myself for not being able to weight lift 300 kilograms. Other people can do that. Some people can do that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just being too hard on myself. So yeah, I kind of wanted to talk to you about my thoughts about self-love and self-respect, because they're kind of being challenged for me right now. I'm trying to respect myself by acknowledging my limitations and telling the people around me the important pieces of information that they need to know. But I feel bad about that. I partly feel guilty, and I also feel like a failure for having to tell people to not expect too much of this or too much of that from me. And I'm trying to practice proper self-love as well by saying that it's okay that I am this way. It's okay if it's going to be like this forever, and that ultimately it doesn't make a difference. You know, I'll make adjustments in my life, it's not a big deal, but I'm having a hard time with that as well. So we're practicing self-respect, self-love, and self-acceptance. I'm having trouble with all three, but at least I can acknowledge that I'm having trouble with all three, and that I'm trying to do the right thing, to help myself. Okay, right. This was cool. This was a good talk. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me, have you struggled with like illness, like prolonged illness or prolonged pain, or even like prolonged mental health stuff, and had this kind of like back and forth with yourself, where on one hand you're saying, I shouldn't be this way, I can be stronger, and on the other hand you're saying, that's not true, and that's also okay. It'll be fine. It will be fine, because everything always is. It always works out eventually, even if I have to go the long way round. So it'll be cool. We'll be cool. Everything's cool. But it's also cool to not feel great about it right now. And that's okay. I can feel kind of about this right now. Did you enjoy this wee chat, guys? Let me know, because I'd like to do more of these. I have a laundry list of topics of things that I want to talk about, that some of them just make me mad. And hopefully we can have another series going, one about many topics and things and stuff. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell thing. Check out my Patreon in the description below, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Love.